All right, let's talk about Lion King real quick. From beginning to end, it's a lot of the classical screenshot by shot of the original animated series, honestly. I mean, as far as the rest of these live action ones go, this is probably the most accurately spun live reaction that they've got to date so far. I say like a good 92% of the movie is exactly the same order, exactly the same script for the most part. That other 8% riff off.
Dialogue change. Spun it a bit differently. But for the most part, exactly the same.
You know, going into this movie, I was a little more concerned about the star-studded cast that they had to play these certain in particular roles. The only one that seemed comforting at the time, honestly, was James Earl Jones coming back as Mufasa.
So, needless to say, I went in there incredibly worried. At first, I wasn't. At first, I was very not worried. And I thought about all the possibilities that this live action could get away with that the other live reactions couldn't really get away with. Or I felt personally that they shouldn't have been able to get away with it, but I feel like because of the people that we had in this movie, they should have been able to do a little bit more with it than just a shot by shot. But I'm fine with the shot by shot.
And then they started dropping off little nugget trailer sneak peek thingies on the internet like crazy for the last week and a half. And then I became worried. I mean, honestly, what can I say in this? It's a spoiler-free review, right? It's kind of hard to spoiler-free The Lion King just as much as it was for me to do any of these other Disney live-action films because it's literally the same exact movie. Like I said, this movie is pretty much like 92% of what the animated series was. The CGI was amazing. The realism of the animals, the fur, the outlining, the shadowing, and all that stuff was really good, I thought. There's probably only like maybe 3 or 4 times where the CGI was bad to where it kind of like took me out of the film for a minute and made me go back into like, review mode where I'm kind of like, does anybody else see that? It's just me? You right, whatever. Because it was very short. It was never CGI where it was just kind of like overly placed. It was like a quick little thing that lasted for probably like maybe 2 seconds at the most, and then you're back in action mode with everything else, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's good. It's good. That's understandable. As much as I love seeing a lot of the same stuff I saw in the movie, the key little things that were a bit different really threw me off, and it made me kind of have this, not hatred, but I guess it kind of messed up my flow with the movie, and I try to like be as biased as possible, and I try and separate the two because it's not like the original. It's not like the original. But when the movie's like 92% of the original, it's kind of like the original.
It was actually this weird place where the stuff I didn't think I was gonna like, I liked it. And then the stuff that I just knew I was gonna like because it was like the original, and I'm looking forward to this in particular type of thing happening, or these lines happening, or this in particular scene happening this in particular way. It didn't happen, and I didn't like it. Not that it not happening made me not like it, just, like I said, the stuff that I thought I was gonna like, I didn't like. The stuff that I didn't think I was going to like, I liked. It's complete role reversal. Mind-blowing, right?
James Earl Jones, you'd think that him replaying Mufasa would be this powerful thing where you would love it and like it and be reminded of the old Lion King with an OG character who's still in the film that played this iconic character years ago, and it was also whelming. If anything, it was underwhelming, and we could have did without him. We could have got somebody else with a deep voice to reprise that role too while we were at it.
Donald Glover as Simba, I honestly didn't have a problem with it. It was a different take on Simba that I was fine with, but it was fine. There's really not much to say to that. It was fine. His singing was fine. A lot of people complained about the whole "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" Honestly, if you go back and listen to it, he was probably the more accurate as far as the way that song should be sung. Not really Beyonce in that song, no, not really. I'm really trying not to be a hater right now, but it's kind of hard because this is what you do. This is what I do. I critique things, you know? Oh well.
That being said, I still love the movie. So for me, personally, I'm going to give Lion King a 7 out of 10. The stuff that I liked, I loved it. The stuff that I didn't like really costed a lot because there was a lot of moments in there where I was just kind of like,
"Are we really doing this? Is it really going down like this? Nobody else is noticing this, huh? Cool. Alright.
the thing that bothered me the most about this movie was that it sounded like voiceover. It sounded like voiceover work. It didn't fit right. It sounded like somebody had this beautiful presentation of film, and they had like a couple of like college kids like voice over those animal voices just because they were playing around and making a YouTube video or something like that. Like it sounded like it was meant to be a parody. Like that's the way the audio sounded in comparison to the actual film itself, and it kept bothering me. And I was trying to figure out for the longest, trying to figure out all night, how am I trying to word this for it to make sense? And what I broke it down to was, it sounds like
it's emotionless. Boom. It's emotionless. A level of emotion that they're putting into the voiceover doesn't match what the animals are doing on the screen. What the animals are doing on the screen don't portray what is being said out of their mouth as accurately as possible. And it bugged me because you're expecting this like heartfelt moment or this super sad moment or this moment where you're supposed to feel something right here, you know, like the original kind of did, or any other film should for that matter. And I didn't feel a thing because it either got cut short, it got rushed, or it wasn't there at all, and that bugged me.
Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here because that was my spoiler-free review, and that's what y'all are gonna get from me. Stick around for when I post the spoiler review, and y'all can check that out and hear what I really gotta say because, oof, nigga, I took notes. Alright, you guys, I'm out of here. Make sure to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I will be here telling it like it is.